I would like to first of all thank all of you. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule. Thank you for taking out time from your client commitments and your personal commitments as well, and coming on a Sunday to listen to me. It's a great privilege for me that I am here to address you. And as you would be actually guessing what I am going to address on, has anybody got any guesses? I'm sure all you managers and associates, practitioners, consultants have something going on in your mind. So what is it? Any guess? No idea somebody today? Global recession. Well, that's something clever from the senior managers. Thank you so much. Sunil. Well, it's all about the recession, and I'm here to give you a good news and a bad news. So which news you want to listen first? Bad news. Bad news? Great. Bad news is that you're going to lay off, but the good news is you have to see the layoff from the perspective of the management and how these layoffs are going to affect us. Since I go to layoffs, I see a lot of your heads going down, feeling sulked. There's nothing to be sulked about. The layoffs are not going to happen in our department until the month of June. Does it excite you? No. Well, I can tell you the reason for why there is a layoff. Then you'll be able to understand why they said it's not going to happen until June. Basically, as a senior leadership of the management, we take two things into consideration at the beginning of the year. Number one, the amount of business that we'll be able to generate in the coming months, the amount of revenue that we all already make. So we always keep a cap of additional number of people that we have to hire in our organization. And the last year, we did the best of the business that we could do in the last past, maybe of 70 years of our organization. And we plan to hire 13% extra headcount. That seems really high. Yes, we were very optimistic. And the second reason for the layoffs, one, 13% higher people that we already have with ourselves. Number two, generally people quit the company due to some reasons, that they're getting married, they want to go on sabbatical, or they generally jump boats because they get better jobs or better prospects. Unfortunately, this year, the number of people who has quit our office for better prospects has been just 1%, which leaves us with the stark fact that we have a 12% extra people in our company who are not being productive. And we are not finding them, we are not able to give them the projects or the prospects that they will be able to work on and improve in their lives. Because of these two reasons, we are planning for layoffs. But now, if you are planning for a layoff, all of you may be thinking like, am I going to be laid off? Is that the question hanging on your heads? Now, but I want to once again tell you that the layoffs are going to be planned in a very strategical manner. Number one, if your performance rating was, let's say, 3 or it may be 2, as you may be knowing 1 is the highest, you need not be worried. Number 2, if your performance rating is less than 3 and you are still finding it really hard to get to your bearings, then yes, you may be on the chopping pad and you may be asked to leave. Having said that, let me tell you what are the things that you all expected to do to avoid a layoff, and that's going to be the crux of my speech today, or the things that you should be doing when you are on the bench, or we also call it as a beach, and to avoid a layoff. Do you want to listen to that? Yes. I would ask you to focus or align your personal goals that you may have had at the beginning of the year with the organizational goals. Number one, I'm sure all of you would like to improve upon your professional careers by educating yourself, coming to know of the new technologies that is happening in the market. So right now, we are in the month of February. Until the month of June, I challenge you guys, go ahead and equip yourself with the best of the knowledge that you can accumulate. Spend the time that you have on the bench trying to improve your education, increase or continue your education with the company. And the company is offering you a lot of opportunities to educate yourself on the quality or educate yourself on the latest technologies. I know a lot of senior managers here who are being in the project management for many years, but they have not done that PMP, which means the project management professional examination. I know a lot of you who are facing the clients, but you are not very confident when you are going to write your deals. So I would ask you guys to go ahead and focus your personal goals towards the organizational goal, that is being the best in whatever we do. As you all may be aware, we are the number one in the consulting business, and being in the consulting business, one thing that always keeps us above our competition is, any guess? Any business, what is one thing which keeps us above the quality? Exactly, the quality. Now, coming back to these difficult times, when we are facing in difficult times, whenever a client will approach us, they approach us for two things. Number one, what is our standing in the competition? So we definitely have our own brand recognition, and fortunately 40% of the clients who come to us are coming us for a repeated business because they know that we as consultants or professionals, we always deliver the best of the quality to our clients. Unfortunately, the rest of the 60% of the clients who approach us for the money factor, or how much are we charging them. Having said that, our second priority should be, or the second personal goal that I would ask you to align with the organizational goal, is to improve on your quality that you are going to deliver day in and day out. Am I clear on that fact? Yes. The quality is one mantra that I want all of you to carry home after this speech, and maybe go ahead, implement it in your team. If you are a team leader, get the quality as an example when you go ahead and implement it. Ask your people to bring in that quality. Quality is something which is from the basic thing that you go ahead, write a mail to a report that you create and you submit to your client. Everything comes with the quality. Number three, I want you to put first things first, which means whenever you are facing a client situation, I want you to think that what are the things that need to be considered first, what are the things that need to be considered second. Most of the time, whenever I speak to my managers and ask them to report back to me, like what is it that you are kind of observing in your employees, they always say they are not very cognizant of the fact that the company's vision is something that I need to adapt with, and what is my company's vision. So I want you guys to go back and find out what does your department wants from you. First, find out what is your department wants. Does it want to make that break the ground and get into the next level? I want you to be cognizant of this fact. Go ahead and put the first things first. What matters to us in this moment? All of you agree with me? If you agree, can I ask you to raise your hands? You're going to spend quality time. You're going to put first things first. And what else? You're going to lead by example. Whenever I go in a flight, I always observe the flight attendant. If the flight goes through a turbulence, the flight attendants or the people that I first find out, how are they reacting to the situation? The flight attendants themselves are really worried and they show that on their face what the feelings they have got. Then obviously as a passenger, I also get difficult. So I want you guys to lead by example by being aware of the situation and not let yourself down with what the situation is happening. Yes, there are a lot of problems around us, but then we are the best, and we always have to believe that we are the best and we will be able to sail through this situation. And the last tip that I want to give you is to have a straight talk with your employees. I'm sure I'm talking with you in a very straightforward manner when I'm telling you that okay, there is going to be a layoff, and these layoffs are not planned absurdly, but then they are planned in a very methodical manner. Similarly, when you go back into your departments and you meet the senior managers or managers, you will face your own employees. They might call you up, they might write a mail, or they might meet you in a corridor or buy the coffee, and they might ask you, what is the thing, what is happening? But I want you to be having a very straight heart-to-heart talk. I don't want you to give them an example or any kind of instance which makes them feel comfortable in that moment, but later on pull the rug from their leg. Because the human capital is something that is the largest asset that we have. The people is our asset. Go ahead, have a straight talk with them and tell them the facts that they need to improve on. If they are not doing very good on the job, ensure that you challenge their potential and let them know there is no cap to the potential. The cap that you lay on your potential is your own self-belief that what I can do. All of you will